This Is Your Life, a program for all America. And now here he is, Mr. This Is Your Life himself, Ralph Edwards.
Thank you very much, Bob Warren. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to This Is Your Life. Now, believe it or not, but tonight's subject is actually on our stage for This Is Your Life right now. In fact, he's looking over a setting familiar to our subject, who thinks he's going to make a filmed travelogue based on his native Hawaii. Thus, the shirt, you see. A curtain separates these gentlemen from our studio audience, and the audience has been told to keep very quiet. All right, let's walk into the studio and pull our surprise right now. Here we go. Here you are, Sid. Hi, fellas. How are you? Hello, Johnny.
How are you? Nice to see
Sarlo,
you.
nice seeing you.
Good. You know the Duke.
Hello,
Duke Kahanamoku.
Duke Kahanamoku. Good to see you.
Good
Duke,
to see
last
you.
time I saw you in Hawaii and all there. Real good. What are you doing here?
Well, I came up here for the wine travelogue.
You going to do it here?
I think we're going to
On
do
this
it
stage
here.
here?
Yeah.
We'll take a little test.
No, I'm going to do... I'm
you gonna
going to
do?
do it here myself. Gee whiz,
Well,
they
for
got it
goodness
really
sake.
fixed up around here, haven't they?
Fixed up
Woo. No, I'm doing a show in the studio tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, I'm
Well,
doing
it's
it
already
right now.
done.
And you're a very important part of it.
You go ahead right along.
Because Duke Kahanamoku, world-famous champion Olympic swimmer and sheriff of Honolulu, Hawaii, tonight, this is your life. You wonder where that applause... Thanks, Mr. South. You wonder where that applause is coming from? Just look straight out there. Good to see you. Oh, there'll be a lot of surprises coming from that little grass shack right over there. We'll meet the first of them in just a moment. I want you to sit down on this catamaran here, Duke, and relax. A travelogue you were going to do, huh?
Well, that's what they told me.
And take your coats off. Relax. We're in Hawaii here, boy, on the beach at Waikiki. Something when I was in Honolulu, I watched the show from out. There was a television set in a little lay stand in front of the Royal out there, and I used to go around and watch the summer replays, you know?
That's right.
And now against the background of Diamond Head, Duke, white sand, swaying palm trees, and the warm breeze of the tropic trade winds, let's tell the story, ladies and gentlemen, of a little Hawaiian boy who became the most famous swimmer in the world, participated in 5 Olympic Games, and used his great speed and power in a most heroic way. That you were talking about, Duke. Duke Kahanamoku.
You got it.
How'd you get the name Duke?
Well, it's a long story.
Shorten it for us, will you, Duke?
I'll make it short for you.
All right.
Well, when Kamehameha the Great conquered all the islands.
Yes, King Kamehameha.
So when he brought these islands together, why, Moku means island.
Yeah,
And Hana means to wood.
I see.
So when he conquered all the islands, he brought them together. So when my family, or my dad was born, we got the name of Duke Kahanamoku.
I see.
From King Kamehameha.
Well, your family was descended from pure Hawaiian nobility.
That's right.
Your paternal grandparents being related to King Kamehameha. And so, as the eldest of 9 children, the name Duke was handed down to you from your daddy.
That's right.
Where do your brothers and sisters live, Duke?
Well, they're all in Honolulu.
They are? They're here in Hollywood to help us tell your story. Here's Bernice, Sister Bernice, Kapiolani. Oh, thank you, Kapiolani. You betcha. This is David, right? Hey, man. Here's Bill. Here's Sam, right here. And here's Louie. Hey, Louie. And here is Sergeant. Listen, they say that this is the first time you've all sung together in public. And didn't they do swell, ladies and gentlemen? In public. Come here, Duke. Must have been wonderful being raised on an island paradise, Duke. What was Duke's childhood like, Bernice?
Ralph, Brother Duke's childhood days were spent in the water and on the beach. But my father taught him how the old-fashioned method to swim when he was only 4 years old.
What was your dad's method of teaching you, Duke?
Well, That's a long story.
Yeah. As I say.
But he did it.
He threw you kind of over the outrigger canoe
Over the canoe between the two outriggers. And I was splashing all over the place. Save yourself or drown.
Yeah.
So
You're
I saved
encouraged.
myself.
I'll bet you.
So I was right up there.
Well, we're glad you saved yourself, boy. You're encouraged to play in the surf and improve your swimming. You spend all of your spare time at Waikiki Beach. Is that right, Bernice?
That's right.
Yes, Ralph, Brother Duke did take time off to go to school. And on April 30th, 1900, we all became American citizens.
Your childhood years saw Hawaiian history being made, Duke. The abdication of Queen Liliuokalani in 1893, the creation of the Republic of Hawaii in 1894, and the American flag being raised over Hawaii in 1898. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Just get in the catamaran there. Music is the heart of every Hawaiian. I wonder if we could have another song, eh? Let's help Bernice in there. And how about another song? Sam, what do you want to start him out with? Just so we can hear a little bit of it. Beach of Waikiki? Something like that? How about that?
Oh, wiki, wiki, sweet brown maiden said to me, as she gave me language lessons on the beach.
The beach in Waikiki is really your home, and you, Duke, and your brothers take to the sea like ducks to water. Outrigger canoeing, body and board surfing, and rowing for the Heilani Rowing Club.
That's right.
At this time, Duke was actually more fond of rowing than he was of swimming. I know because I rowed against him in many races.
That's Dad said.
Yeah, the voice of an old competitor, Duke. One of your closest friends here from Honolulu, Hawaii, is George Dad Center, world-famous swimming coach.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful, Dad.
If Duke was more interested in rowing than in swimming, how did he become the world's best-known swimmer, Dad?
Well, after we would go practice rowing, we would go swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And the various crews would engage in swimming races. And Duke would always win.
August 12, 1911 was an important date for Duke, wasn't it, Dad?
Yes, it was the first time, very first time Duke entered a formal swimming meet.
Mm-hmm.
And he swam the 100 yards open straightaway. The timers couldn't believe their stopwatches because they showed that he had shattered the world's record, not by fractions, but by whole seconds.
Duke swam 100 yards in 55 and 2/10 seconds, and the world's record was 1 minute flat. Thank you very much, Dad Center, for coming here from Honolulu to tell the beginnings of a swimming career with the rise to such great heights. You'll see Dad and all the gang later on at the luau we've arranged for you at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, where, by the way, Duke, all your family and friends have been staying there at the Roosevelt.
Two-finger pie?
Yep, two-finger play. Your great speed attracts the attention of the sports world, and you're invited to come to the mainland to participate in the AAU circuit meets. They can't believe that figure of 55.2. The year is 1912, and the Olympic Games are to be held in Stockholm, Sweden. Your electrifying swimming in the AAU meets makes you a natural choice for the United States Olympic swimming team, and you sail for Stockholm in the summer of 1912.
I knew the Duke not only as the fastest swimmer I ever met, but he also could go to sleep faster and sleep longer than anyone else.
A friend of yours from the 1912 Olympic Games, you recognize the voice, Duke. It belongs to your old pal and former teammate, Michael McDermott of Chicago, Illinois. Here's Mike.
Let me first of all, and he's sorry that he can't be with us tonight.
Thanks a million. Thanks a million, Chuck.
Duke's ability to sleep at any time of the day or night almost caused him to lose a crown, didn't it, Mr. McDermott?
It sure did. We were out at the Olympic Stadium to compete in the preliminary trials, and that morning we had taken part in the Olympic parade. And after the parade, the Duke went back to the dock to get the ship to sleep. And when we got to the stadium where the Duke wasn't there,
Yeah.
I had...
At least you thought he was on the ship.
Well, we
didn't
thought
you?
he was on the ship. So
Uh-huh.
I competed in my event, the breaststroke, and then went back and changed my clothes. And Otto Wally was looking all over the place for the Duke, so I had a hunch and went down to the dock on one of those little Swedish streetcars. And the Duke wasn't there, so I went back to the stadium and looked under the stand, and there was the Duke sound asleep.
Oh, no.
And after waking him up, he just had time to get his suit on and get up to the tank when the gun started his event.
Well, how did he come out there?
Well, he won his preliminary and then went on to win the final and shattered the world's record, established a new Olympic and new world's record. And then the King of Sweden, King Gustav, crowned him with the laurel wreath that's entitled to the victor of the Olympics.
And here is that very same laurel wreath, Duke, brought here by your friend and associate in Honolulu, F. Lang Akana, who's been of such great help preparing this tonight. What do you say, Mr. Akana?
Aloha kau, brother.
Aloha nui.
Nakikua malamia oe, hopumike ia oe amikakua pa.
I hope you said something nice about Frill or Crest. Thank you very much, Mr. Akana. And Michael McDermott, who held the world's record for all breaststroke events for 10 years. Thank you. And so the little Hawaiian boy who was thrown into the water at 4 years of age to sink or swim is crowned by a king and wins world acclaim. Now, how you go on to even greater heights and how your swimming speed is tested in the most dramatic way, Duke Kahanamoku, we'll learn in just a moment. Why don't you go back with brothers and sisters back there and chat with them a minute. Relax, but don't go to sleep. Keep him awake, will you? And now, Duke Paoa Kahanamoku. How'd I do? Pretty good?
You did fine.
The man who developed the crawl swimming stroke as we know it today. Let's continue with the story of your life. How about that, Sergeant? Right?
Yes, Ralph. Duke was the world's greatest swimmer, and we're very proud of that. But there's another skill that Duke is pretty good at, too, and you shouldn't overlook it.
Thank you for mentioning... Duke, we've heard that you're an expert in the hula dance. How exactly do you go about... Would you mind just show... brothers and sisters, could you give us a little Hawaiian hula music? A little hula? Do you want your coat? Here. Yeah, you tie this around.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
And she gave me
Yeah, a little hula is good. How about... Oh, that's great. Thank you. Very good. How about that, Dave? Thanks. Come on, we won't work you out too much, but you've got a lot of surprises ahead of you. Many more years of your exciting life to come.
Thank you.
Like the year 1920 at the Olympic Games in Antwerp, Belgium.
Another teammate of yours, Duke, and a friend since 1912 from Los Angeles, California. Here is Ludi Langer. Ludi Langer. Now, it was the, let's see, what made 1920 so memorable for Duke, Mr. Langer?
Well, that's the year Duke broke his own world and Olympic record, and you did it on your 30th birthday, Duke.
That's right, Dutch.
Yeah, and it was, it was 8 years. We didn't have any Olympics in 1916, so it was 8 years that you had a chance for that record that Mike told you about. And you did it so easy with that fell form of yours, you just beat these other fellows easily.
Well, it's been said that if Duke...
Take it from Dutch.
Take it from Dutch. It'd been said that if Duke had really been pressed in his races, Ludi, that his records might have been even greater. Is this true?
Well, this guy, he just swam to win. He swims so easy and all, but he got in there and he'd watch his competition, but he'd come through with an awful burst, and he'd usually win, and it was usually a world record.
I had him scared once.
Just once?
Well, Ludi Langer... Ludi was a world record holder in long-distance swimming for some time. Thank you, Ludi Langer.
That's because you didn't swim though, that's...
Now it's 1924. Duke, Paris, France. At the age of 34, you're... Parlez-vous français? You're again on the Olympic team. I don't, but we'll stick to Hawaiian. I mean, you seem to be doing all right in that. The world is watching anxiously to see if Duke Kahanamoku will retain his title.
This was my first Olympic meet,
And I was many years younger than Duke.
Yeah, Pulo.
Yeah, Duke, the only man who could... What did that mean? Or maybe you shouldn't tell me.
Covered up.
Oh, the only man who could have defeated you, your former opponent and now close friend, a man who himself broke the established world record, Johnny Weissmiller.
You don't think you're going to keep me away, did
Do you recognize him now that he's Jungle Jim?
Boy, he is,
Oh, the kids love this guy. Duke actually helped you to beat him, didn't he, Johnny?
Yes, he did. You know, we trained together in the Olympic Games.
Yes.
And this big lug, he just gave me all the confidence in the world.
Well, this is a thrill to see you two together. The guy who finally broke his record. Even though he had a feeling that you were going to beat him, he helped you?
Well, sure. He used to watch me train and take care of me. He made me go back and get in that pool and work up and down. He was just like a big brother to the boys.
He gave me the work hard.
Yeah. But you know, funny thing, he never worried much about himself. All he wanted to do was be sure that the United States got that 1, 2, 3 in the Olympic Games.
We did.
We did it.
There was a whole family almost working against you.
Incidentally, yeah. The Kahanamoku brothers were pretty well represented. You know, beside Duke, there was David and Sam on the team.
Must have.
Boy, I was all over them.
That's good. How did the 100-meter event in which you all participated turn out, Duke? In what order?
Johnny came first, and I took second place, and my brother Sam got third place.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny Weissmiller. Johnny Weissmiller, your own record stood for 25 years. Thank you, Johnny Weissmiller. What a guy. Well, sir, you returned from the Paris Olympics in 1924 and lived for a while in Los Angeles. You appear in several motion pictures, right, Duke?
That's right.
One day, June 14th, 1925, you're surfing at Newport Beach, California, when a fishing boat, the Thelma, capsizes offshore under the battering of 25-foot waves.
I was with Duke when we saw the boat capsize.
There were 17 persons aboard the boat.
Well, two people who've been very close to you, Duke. In fact, you lived in their home for many years. Tom and Bill Henry from Los Angeles. Very great man. What did, hi, Bill and Tom. What did Duke do when he saw the boat turn over, Tom?
Well, the waves were so high that it was practically impossible to get through the surf and to reach the people who were in the water.
But after many, many attempts, Bud finally did manage to get through the breakers and race out to those survivors on his surfboard.
3 times, Duke came back from the wreck to the shore, and each time he brought survivors.
Of the 17 people aboard the Thelma, 5 lost their lives, and you alone, Duke Kahanamoku, were responsible for saving the lives of 8 of the remaining survivors. Thank you, Tom and Bill Henry, for retelling this thrilling story of Duke's bravery.
Well, now, wait a minute, Ralph. There are a couple of members of the family who are waiting to greet Bud here, Ma and Dad.
Oh, we know that you consider the Henrys as your second family. The evening wouldn't be complete without them. So here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Henry. Oh, it's going to be some luau tonight over there, I'll tell you. Thank you so much, good people. You'll see your pals a little later. Thank you. 1928, Amsterdam, Holland. At 38, for the 4th time, you're again a member of the Olympic team. 1932, you are 42 years old. When you fail to qualify for the swimming team, all Hawaii and all the United States are heartbroken. But you're a member of the United States water polo team, the only United States swimmer to have participated in 5 Olympic Games and to have set these world's records: 50-yard freestyle in 22 6/10 seconds, 100-yard freestyle in 53 seconds, and 100-meter freestyle in 60 seconds. No need to tell you, we're all proud of you, Duke.
I had always admired Duke Kahanamoku, and when I finally met him in Honolulu, I asked if I could have one of his medals for my charm bracelet.
The girl who did get all your medals on her charm bracelet because you married her, your lovely wife, Nadine Kahanamoku.
Here's Nadine.
And what a secret she's got. You can sit up here, Nadine. You can move his coat over there, my dear, and just sit up there. And let's see, Duke was sheriff of Honolulu when you met him, wasn't he, Nadine?
Yes, he was. He was, I think it was 34 you were first
That's right, dear.
entering politics. And he was voted unanimously as the sheriff by both the Republicans and the Democrats.
Sure.
I vote for him, too.
I'm glad you did, Nadi. Duke, your days are spent in your duty as sheriff. But there's still time for surfing at Waikiki, swimming at Duke Kahanamoku Beach, named in your honor. Time for your interest in the Shriners Crippled Children Hospital. Still time to act as Hawaii's unofficial ambassador to the world. But let's go back to June 14, 1925, the day the Thelma capsized. Here are 3 of the men you actually saved that fateful day and whom you haven't seen since. From Riverside, California, here is Fred Hock,
Yeah, I've been wanting to see
and
you,
Harry
Roy.
Olin, and Edward
Nice to
Steed
see you.
from Colton, California. Mr. Sneed, you must have thought it was all over when those waves came crashing down on you, sir.
The Duke hadn't have saved me, I'd still be there.
Yeah.
So I was happy to bring
Mr.
you boys
Olin,
in.
you get right up there and talk to Duke, too. I know you want to tell him something.
Duke, I haven't seen you since you put me on the beach at Balboa. And you left me there, and we were in a hurry to get back to the boat to make a rescue of the other ones on the boat, which you did a marvelous job of.
Thank you.
And I have waited 32 years to thank you tonight.
It's a long time, but it's wonderful. Let the people see you.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Really?
The little banquet at Los Angeles in honor of the rescue work you did at the beach was the last place I saw you. And I want to thank you again for the rescuing me and saving my life.
It's wonderful. It'd be good to wait.
Little banquet, he calls it, and all Los Angeles turned out for that, that's for sure, right, Fred? And of course, all Hawaii wanted to reward you, too, for your heroism, and they presented you with a gold medal. At the recent Melbourne Olympic Games, a thrill went over the crowd every time they saw you. If a shining example of a true sportsman lives anywhere in the world, it lives in your heart. This is your life, Duke Kahanamoku.
Thank you.
Now, Duke, let's take a look into your future, eh? First of all, for your lovely wife, Prell had Marshall Jewelers of New York City, thank you, Bob Warren, custom design this beautiful gold charm bracelet, each charm a memento of some memorable event in your life. They'll go with the medals. These are all Duke's gold medals, you see, and this charm bracelet can be added to that there. Duke, is kind of a matching gift, we have these handsome calendar cufflinks there. And we also have for you a complete film of tonight's program and the 16-millimeter Bell & Howell motion picture sound projector and camera. Now, Duke, we happen to know that some time ago a possession you prized quite highly was stolen. Is that it there? That's not the one that was stolen, I know, but we kind of went around. This adorned the front of your car for many years. We didn't steal it, you understand. I don't want you to think. We did have this made up for you.
Where are you going to put that
are.
one? I'll get this one.
Is that just like it is there? It goes right back on the place. On behalf of all of us here on This Is Your Life, I want you to consider it replaced anyhow. There you go. Now, being a native islander, we know that one of your greatest loves is music, as witness the family here, brothers and sisters. So, Prell would like to present you with a complete $1,000 Mercury high-fidelity long-playing record library featuring the finest in show tunes, jazz, popular, and classical music. And to play these fine records, this magnificent Magnavox high-fidelity custom radio phonograph and matching speaker. Finest instrument of its kind because it's a Magnavox, you see. Finally, Duke, about that boat you've been sitting on during the whole show. Do you like it? Did you get a good look at this catamaran? It's a Power Catamaran 13, and it's all yours. Compliments of Prell. And it's a 13, a Catamaran 13 equipped with this rugged Scott Atwater outboard motor, famous for pace-setting performance.
It's a good number.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to have it shipped to your home in Honolulu by the world-famous Matson Navigation Lines. This is your life, Duke Kahanamoku, world champion athlete, a living legend whose love of people represents the true spirit of your beloved islands. Good night. God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
This is Your Life. It's a Ralph Edwards production, produced by Axel Gruenberg and directed by Richard Gottlieb.